There's Kenny, a couple others, but how do you feel you're doing this place for veteran leadership? Do you feel that you've got to step up in that area now?
Yeah, third year in a row, youngest team in the NFL. I'd say I've always just thought of myself as a leader with my play style. I'm figuring out the vocal stuff. One huddle breakdown at a time usually. But really, what it comes down to is you hold everybody to the standard that you walk by. You see something that's not going right, you got to step up and say something immediately. Just because, otherwise things are just going to fall apart day by day. We talk about how trust is built in raindrops and lost in buckets. You have to do everything day in and day out to build that trust with your team, and then you slip up, it's that.
You told me once about some wisdom that was important to you, about 12 or so, and you were told, don't be that guy, be the guy.
Yep.
And I see you holding on to that, right? That's important to you. How you carry yourself. Do you feel like the door's open for you to be the next step, though, as one of the team leaders in this organization?
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is just coming in the building with the right mindset, waking up every morning, making the correct decision to, attempt to get better at something, whether that's, taking the next step in the meeting room, going onto the field and winning on something that maybe you got coached up in the previous day, just coming in and not making the same mistakes you made the previous day. Just the only way to – Kenny said this the other day, we were breaking down. If we want to be a good team, we got to do hard stuff. We came out today, we practiced really hard. It was a real competitive practice. We lost some, we won some. But at the end of the day, we were all out there, doing it together. So
it was. You were flying around. So you went through this last fall. Talk about the next couple of weeks without Jordan Love and to be in sync with the offense with him.
Yeah. So Jordan is in the healing process now. What we got to do is just make sure that everybody is dialed in, locked in to any kind of game plan, every play conceptually, knowing who has what on what play, the responsibility of that concept, whether it's front side, back side, the rules everybody has on the ball, off the ball, helping Malik out even before we break the huddle. It's his second year calling plays in this offense. It's not always going to be perfect, but guys like me, some other older guys in the huddle that play the skill positions, we know, when we're hearing stuff, if it matches up or not. So we can oftentimes, help out there.
Tucker, speaking of Malik, just what can you say about, even his growth over this past, season and a half, and now actually having a full off season, trying to, get familiar with this playbook?
Yeah. Malik, just like anybody else in his position, like he has every leadership skill. He has all the tangibles. It's just that he's not, well, right now I guess technically he is, but he just. Thanks, Cole. He just wasn't necessarily the number one, but now every time he steps up and he has to take on that role, he displays extreme courage, and he's great on his feet, and that's what oftentimes we rely on in the QB run game for him. He's such an athlete, extremely agile.
Well, joint practice, Colts, and the coaches talk about they almost prefer that in some ways over a preseason game. How do you guys look at it?
Yeah, it's just another opportunity to go out there and hit someone that's not in green and gold. That's the way I look at it. This would be my fourth joint practice because I was on the PUP still from the Broncos last year. So I just eager. I enjoy joint practices. Always try to keep it clean. There's always some kind of tussle, but that's not really what we're there for. We're there to get some looks, practice against some looks that are unscouted, guys that we haven't played against. They got a new defensive coordinator, so it'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to it.